If I ask you a simple question that why the capital of India is Delhi, then most of you might think the capital has always been there. Then the next obvious question arises that why it has always been in Delhi. Why not in a state like Tamil Nadu where the connectivity with the sea is better, or somewhere in Maharashtra, say Mumbai, which is the financial capital of India, or maybe somewhere in Uttar Pradesh, which is the most populated state in India. Delhi has none of the above mentioned advantages. Still, it is a chosen capital. But why? Well, there is an interesting story behind why Delhi is the most suitable location for being the capital of this vast nation. But before going forward, we must see the different phases this city has gone through and those empires who ruled from the very city. Now, when I looked into the past of the city, the farthest I could reach was a period of Mahabharat in which the city was known as Indraprastha. It is from Indraprastha, which was just a small part of present day Delhi, Pandavas ruled the land. From the time period of Pandavas, the picture gets a bit obscure. The city of Indraprastha slipped into oblivion. At the time of the invasion of Alexander in 327 BC, political capital of northern India laid in the Magad region of southern Bihar with Patliputra as its capital. But the areas around Delhi were for sure inhabited by people, as we found things related to Mauryans and Guptas right above where Indraprastha was present. The city again re-emerged with the rise of Rajputs in the northern India, so the name changed from Indraprastha to Delhi, and it is said that the name is derived from the name of King Dehlu, who might have been the ancestor of the Tomar Rajputs. Rajputs of the era built various temples in the region, and the famous fort of Lal Kot, which stands to this day, was built at that time. But again, the hardy nomadic warriors of Central Asia displaced the self-indulgent rulers out of northwestern India, a process which is as old as the history of this nation. And this time, the Central Asian Turks took over, and with them, the fame of the forgotten city was in the ascendancy again. These nomadic Turkic warlords built various walled cities in the heart of present-day Delhi. The Mamluks ruled from present-day Mehrauli, followed by various other Turkic dynasties that built their respective forts across Delhi. Khiljis built the fort of Siri, which was few kilometers away from the Mehrauli region, and from this very fort they repulsed repeated attacks of Mongol marauders. Then came the Tughlaqs, who built their own city in Delhi by the name of Tughlaqabad. So Muhammad Shah Tughlaq tried to shift capital to Devgiri, which proved disastrous as it soon made him lose his grip over the northern provinces. The next in line Lodij shifted capital to Agra, which was another city down south on the banks of river Yamuna. From them, the Central Asian Mughals took over the reign of Hindustan. Agra remained the capital of the first three Mughal emperors, but soon the capital was again shifted back to Delhi, where Shah Jahan built another walled city, Shahjahanabad, alongside the banks of river Yamuna. If in today's time one tried to find the city of Shahjahanabad in Delhi, then the area of Old Delhi is a place where one could find it. The city had 14 gates which were present on all of its sides, with a wall spanning few kilometers in circumference. The Red Fort of Delhi and Jama Masjid were inside the city of Shahjahanabad, with the Yamuna River flanking its rear side. Now, after knowing the historical significance of the city, the question that arises is that why Delhi was the chosen capital of various dynasties, especially in the last 800 years. Well, the answer lies in three factors. The first is the geography of the region. Delhi lies on the train junction. On the west of it lies Punjab. On the east lies the region of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. And in the south lies the central and western part of India. With Delhi being in the middle of it, it was easier for the rulers of the time to maintain a tight grip over these lands. Punjab used to provide buffer zone between Central Asia, which was the home of turbulent tribes which had been invading India since time immemorial. With a series of forts in Punjab region, the advance of these tribes could be checked, and the invading armies were usually worn down till they reached the heart of India, that is, Delhi. Similarly, the region of present-day Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, which are one of the most fertile lands across the globe, was kept in check with the help of various forts that acted both as cantonments and administrative headquarters. The grip over Western India was vital so as to have access to the city, which again opened opportunities of trade with the rest of the world. In the medieval times, these regions were inhabited by warlike Rajputs who were free-spirited and unruly. and could only be brought under control from a safe and distant place like Delhi. The second region was the terrain of the city. Delhi lies on the west of river Yamuna, and on the southern side it is bounded by Aravalli Hills. With the river on one side, which is far less turbulent than the rivers of Punjab and Uttar Pradesh, the day-to-day demand of water could easily be met without risking major floodings. The Aravalli Hills were well utilized for building forts and citadels as they provide natural barrier against the invading forces. When you look closely at the location of Mehroli, Tughlakabad, Shahjahanabad, they all lie on the plateau of Aravalli Hills, which provide an additional advantage for the defense of the city. You could not find a place in Punjab or Uttar Pradesh which could provide a spot which was flanked by such a natural barrier. Though Rajasthan has a long stretch of Aravalli Hills, but again, the land is not as fertile as the land surrounding Delhi, so it is not as desirable as the region of Delhi. The third reason is its cold climate in winters, which is very similar to that of Central Asia, which the invading tribes found similar to their original surroundings, with similar crops like wheat that could be produced in the region. So they choose Delhi as their capital rather than moving down south to settle in a more humid and warmer climate than that of Delhi. Now, talking about the present capital of India, the New Delhi, which is again just a small part of entire Delhi, is a place where Britishers moved their capital after moving out of the city of Kolkata in Bengal. They built places like Rashtrapati Bhavan, Old Parliament, and India Gate, which again lie on a hill called Raisina Hill, which later on became the administrative center of modern India. With New Delhi as the capital, the legacy of Delhi being the heart of this vast land has been carried forward. So, guys, these were the reasons why Delhi is the chosen capital of modern India as well as the empires of the past. Stay tuned for more such videos.